The hot ticket this week is Destiny. Damn it, Destiny. Let's roll this friggin' footage, man.
Oh my God.
All right, so where should we start? Because I think, Jeff, you've probably logged the most hours at this point. I jumped in. Okay, here's what we got a couple things that we got to get out of the way first. So let's see. Let me change this thing real quick.
Let's get this out of the way.
Yeah, there we go. All right, $500 million in 24 hours. Now that's sales. I don't think that's like just profit off the top. I think the game sold $500 million worth of Destiny copies or Destiny PlayStation 4 bundles or whatever.
Yeah, so between the bundle purchases and the game itself, that's what they're saying. That's a lot of money.
That it is. That it is.
It's. I mean, I'm not surprised. The game's had a lot of hype behind it, and it's sold. I don't know sales-wise what records it broke, but I believe it was, like we were talking before, the most pre-ordered game in history.
Right, most pre-ordered game. I don't think it's going to come close to breaking the COD. Because Ghost sold a lot, which was the other one? Black Ops 2 sold a ton, and then Grand Theft Auto. But you keep in mind, those are all sequels to existing properties. The big thing here is that this is a brand new IP.
Yeah.
So
I mean, a brand new IP by Bungie.
Yeah, Bungie. I mean.
Yeah.
All right. So the other thing I wanted to mention too is, so like I was gonna say, I jumped in like not super late, but late last night, and man, the freaking PSN, man, freaking shit. I had to wait 3.5 hours to get that patch. It freaking sucked. Like, I was sitting there, I kid you not, it had 9 minutes left. It said 9 minutes remaining for like 15 minutes, and then it went down to 8 minutes. So I couldn't even get in to play last night.
People want to play this game.
I guess it was to be expected.
I have not had any problems. I picked this up with the bundle. It's very nice, by the way. At midnight, took it home. I set it up. I did a few other things, but by like a little after 1, I was starting to play. That's with updating the system, then installing Destiny and updating that as well. It worked pretty quick. So I'm actually surprised that I haven't hit any like queues or anything. I've been able to jump in and out. I know other people have had some issues, but honestly it's to be expected with a game like this. So I'm not too worried about it. I think if there are any issues, they'll have them cleaned up pretty quick because they're a pretty high-profile company.
All right. So let's get into the game then. So as you can tell from our graphic on the screen here, we're going to do a first look. We're not going to do a full-blown review because we honestly haven't had enough time to, get a feel for it, right?
I feel and I'm sure now people, by the time everyone watches this, they're going to be like, oh, well, this message board, I read this. The main campaign isn't supposed to take too long. I think I'm actually at the tail end of it. Granted, I've been playing it straight almost since it launched with a break here and there.
The number I saw was between 15 to 20 hours.
Yeah, that's what I saw. But it's, that's just the main campaign. That's really meant to get you leveled up. And then, there's a lot of multiplayer activities you're supposed to partake in, like the Crucible, and then they have the heroic versions of the strikes, which I've only done a few regular strikes so far, plus the raid content, and I don't know what else is going to be in for endgame, but there's a lot of stuff that you're supposed to gear up your character after you hit the level cap. I just think where the game came out on Tuesday,
it's difficult to review because there's just so much content.
And I'm loving. I will say this. I will preface this by saying I am loving this game so far, but I would hate to give a premature review if a week from now maybe I'll hit level cap and realize there isn't anything else to do, despite what reports have said, and it's not that fun. But so if it keeps it up with what it is so far, I'll definitely be loving this game for a while. But I'd like to be able to get a little bit more in depth before giving my.
And like we were talking before, it's like you hit level 20, but then you can kind of level up with like armor upgrades and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it follows that MMO like Diablo, any type of loot based game where you hit a level, but then from there just better and better gear. I mean, Chris, what have you played so far?
All right, so like I said before, I haven't played as much as you have, but my first impressions was like this is Halo the MMO, dude. Like, it looks like Halo, it feels like Halo. There's so many similarities, and I get some of the stuff is to be expected, but I think that's essentially what they've done in a nutshell. Like, they added MMO elements to Halo, and they put it on persistent online world, and that's what it is. I mean, the production values are there. It's super high quality. It feels great, but so far I'm not seeing a whole lot of and I hate to say the whole lot of innovation because the FPS genre has been done to death, but wasn't there that other game, Tabula Rasa or whatever, that was an FPS
Rasa,
MMO?
oh my God, yeah.
Something like that. I didn't play that one, but I heard it was a similar kind of thing. Like, because
Well,
in general, MMOs are not FPSs.
They've been trying to do something like this for a while. I think other companies taking that game Defiance came out not too long ago, where they did.
Oh yeah, with that TV tie-in, right?
Sci-fi tie-in.
Yeah.
I played like a beta.
You
version
played
of
that?
Yeah, there was a free beta on PS3, and I was like, I'll try it. And I played it a little bit, and I was just like, whatever. I don't know. This game, just has that right. The problem with those other games is because it's not really an MMO, but it takes a lot of stuff from MMO, but it's very action based, and this one has the polish, I think, necessary to have like an action game system on added onto an MMO game, or an MMO action hybrid. This has the right amount of polish to represent the action.
Yeah.
Because when you play that game like Defiance, it was very, it didn't have a lot of weight behind it with the combat. It felt very cheap MMO-ish, and it was a free-to-play game. That's to be expected. So this, this looks and feels nice. Plus, it has that awesome world with lots of people.
So, Chris, you
right? But sorry to interrupt, but do you agree? It's freaking Halo, dude. Do you disagree with that?
That's what I'm about to say. So, it sounds like. This
is what it is. Shields, armor, grenades. The controls are exactly the same, dude.
So
it's
it sounds like
Halo.
you don't like that. It seems like you don't really like that. You're saying that in a derogatory way. So is that something that you're kind of like?
No, I did not join you guys on the beta, so I don't know. Maybe I was expecting something a little bit different, but this is what these guys have been doing for the better part of a decade and a half.
I mean, Halo, as far as the controls and stuff. I think, why mess with that? I mean, that's what they're known for. The universe is I would say it's different from Halo. There's definitely aspects of it that are just like Halo, definitely. But I feel like it brings its own thing to the table as well.
It has its own look.
But yeah, it does a lot of stuff that other games have done. I just think it does a bunch of them together pretty well. Is it like the end-all be-all that some people have thought this game would be? I don't want to say yes or no to that yet.
It's
But I mean, it's to be expected, though. I mean, that's all Bungie was working on. That was their franchise, Halo, for the past 10 years. So when they do another game, it's an FPS. I mean, obviously, I want it to be different, but I can only imagine there's going to be, a few similarities there. And if there's going to be any carryover, to me, it's going to be the feel of the game. Because they definitely got that right for a console FPS to have tight controls.
Is also only the beginning.
That's true. That's the other thing too. I think people there's going to be so much added to this game. They already have expansion set up, which they got DLC planned. Well, it's not like they developed this stuff at the same time. It's just nice to know that there is more content ready to be released in the next couple of months. So I'd rather know ahead of time that I have stuff planned so I can plan for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Saying, okay, well, I beat this game. I can't wait for the DLC. 6 months comes around, DLC hits, and I'm bored and I don't want to go back to the game. So.
What's your character and class and stuff like that?
I'm playing a hunter. I was playing a hunter and
you played that in the beta as well.
Yeah, and I'm playing a Titan as well. I tried out a Titan.
Titan's really fun. That's what I play.
The characters aren't the difference is more based on their specials. So
Titan is more power attack. And
it's more about armor. But I mean, really, you can play either character the way you want with based on the weapons you want to use, but it's more about how your specials are, and a lot of it too comes down to what you want your look to be. Like the hunter has the cool hood and stuff. Definitely, I will say that's definitely a selling point for me because it just looks awesome. But all the classes you can play and kind of play in your own type of combat style, because you can be a Titan or a Warlock or a Hunter and make any of them a sniper. I mean, I'd say if you're looking to be a sniper, obviously there are certain things I feel like a hunt would be geared towards for a Hunter, but you can play it a few ways. But I don't know, like I said, I'm still going through the game. There's still things I want to see, and because there's the subclasses, the advanced classes you can switch to.
Yeah. Steve.
Yeah.
What have you been? What are your thoughts on this game so far?
It's fun. It's definitely awesome for co-op and stuff like that. Like when Jeff got his PS4, right away we were just linked up playing, and it's pretty seamless. I don't know. It's just it's really similar to Halo, but I feel like it's like in a good way.
Interesting.
You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
Definitely a good co-op game. And what's cool is like it's got like the MMO aspect where it's like you're constantly, you know, getting, you know, new gear and like you're teaming up with lots of people, but you don't have to do that. Like there's also like tons of people in the game that you don't have to interact with. And you can just like team up with like your friend or whatever. And
Yeah.
you know, so I feel like if you have friends to play with, like I feel like this game's perfect. Like especially for like a console or for a game for a new console, it's like perfect.
Yeah. I remember, like, it was awesome when, like, us three were playing it. And it was
was good, definitely. I will say this, too. I've noticed it's actually a lot harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I'm actually, like, playing certain parts of the game, and, like, I'm getting my ass kicked. And, like, I was surprised. I figured, like, I'd be able to, like, breeze through this, like, no problem. Because, like, the thing with the beta is none of it was, like, too difficult except for, like, one of the strike missions on the beta you could do. There was one part that was a little bit difficult when you didn't have like everyone on the ball, but this is like just playing some of the missions on my own. I'm like, wow, some of these got like really tough. Like I had to make like multiple attempts on a couple of them. Like not the hardest game ever, but I was actually surprised that it wasn't like a complete like an utter pushover.
Yeah.
But you know, very enjoyable. I noticed you don't need PlayStation Plus to play this game either. You just can't join up with other people. But you can technically play it without a subscription.
Yeah, what's up with that? I noticed that. Like, there was a couple ones where it's like, I think I was trying to select a raid or something, and it said PSN Plus required.
Yeah.
So certain ones, I think it locks you out of altogether. Or is that, like you said, just as you can't get in there because you can't pair up with somebody?
You can't. So you.
So the match, it depends on the matchmaking.
Yeah, so you can technically play this game without. I mean, you still have to be online, but you can do it without the subscription service. So that's actually kind of cool, though, because I set up my PlayStation. I didn't renew my PS Plus yet. I have since then, but at first I was like, oh, well, let me try that in a second. And I was like, oh, it lets me in. And then I was playing for a while, and I was just like, what's going on? And I realized, okay, I can't jump in a game with anyone, but I can literally play through any of the like single-player portions.
Yeah.
Without having to have that subscription. So if that's like a detractor to anyone saying, oh, I want to try this out, but you know, I don't want to tie to a subscription service. You know, even though I think you should because the PS Plus program's awesome. You don't need to pay for a subscription and enjoy part of the game. You won't get the full, in my opinion, the full game because you can't jump in with other people. But you know, for whatever reasons you're not subscribing, you can still try it out at least.
Yeah, I mean that's good. But I mean, to me, it's like when I had the most fun with this game is playing with my friends,
Yeah.
like and like going through those raids together. Like it was so much fun. I mean that's kind of like any MMO or co-op game, but this one in particular, I just like. I mean, just adding to the world and all the environments, and just like I said, doing playing with your friends. That came out weird, but anyways.
I love that, by the way, when you level up and you get like the fire shoots up. It's very satisfying when you're like fighting waves of enemies and it's like
yeah.
It's like the only thing they could have made it. They could have gone a step up and made it better. And when that level up pops up because there's flames and stuff, there should have been a voice going level up. Like they should have just got the Unreal Tournament anannouncer guy.
Make it Matt more like super macho.
Me 3 a.m, being like. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been drinking 16-ounce Red Bulls and just staying up playing.
Jeez.
I haven't even gotten into the gear grind yet. I'm excited for that, where I'm just hunting for like a helm or something, being like, "Whoa, I need it."
Yeah.
Gear doesn't come up as often as I'd like it to.
I think it's going to be one of those things that's going to pop up more towards the end, because right now it just kind of naturally comes in when you need it, because we're still leveling up, though. Once you get to the end, you start to run all the heroic versions of the dungeons. You can just jump in like a random queue and play through like the random dungeons. And that's where it's going to come more into play, from everything I've seen anyways. I mean, people haven't hit max level yet, but it's been a day, so it's hard to tell at this point. But that's, from what I've gathered, it's going to play more into after you hit like that level 20, when it will start to pick up. But I mean, it's made a difference. You've noticed it, like when we got the special DLC weapons.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's, even leveling up, when we were playing on hard mode, and some of those missions will kick your ass on it, so we got the special, it was the Vanguard, like the day one purchase DLC, the Vanguard pack, and you can buy those weapons that are just like double the damage of anything else you have, and it makes an improvement. So even when leveling up, especially if you're trying to play hard mode with a buddy, it helps, and it's satisfying when you get your ass kicked and you update these more powerful weapons and you see an actual noticeable improvement when you're blowing enemies' heads off, which looks awesome, by the way. When you blow their head up, a little puff of smoke, it's like.
Oh yeah, and they turn into the light or whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Each enemy dies differently, and there's like four. Spoiler alert! There's like four groups of enemies that you face, like races. So it's pretty awesome. At least 4 I've seen so far. So again, still progressing through.
Yeah. So I think that's it at the moment. Yeah, we're not quite ready to pass judgment on it yet. We got to play it some more, but yeah, we'll see. So we'll follow up on this next week. One last thing I wanted to point out. I think that Microsoft is they're probably kicking themselves over this one now for letting Bungie, for releasing them and saying, hey, whichever.
I do want to touch on that too. Yeah, I mean, Sony totally
oh yeah, Sony put the marketing push behind this, and now they're reaping the benefits.
Yeah, they hogged Destiny, and they got the bundle, which I purchased, and it's awesome. Microsoft was. Did you see that deal they came out with just a week ago? It's like, if you buy an Xbox One, we'll give you one of these games for free, and then one of them was Destiny. So it was like.
Yeah, you see the Cologne ad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the Cologne ad.
Yeah, they did that one too.
Wow. I mean, honestly. That's a nice incentive to buy an Xbox One. I just personally wanted a PS4, but that's funny that that was a pretty slick move to combat
that's gotta hurt.
Get that crap out of here.
Yeah. Well, hey, you see, PlayStation, Sony's doing it again in Japan. They have the new Batman Arkham Knight ad in Japan, and it says you can play this on PlayStation 4. And whatever the date.
Oh
is.
yeah, they dropped Xbox. It's not coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's but it's like the ad only mentions PS4 too. It's like, but it's just funny you see that too because it's coming out for Xbox. But they're
all right. Yeah. Was there that? I thought there was another big title where they just said straight up no, it's not coming to Xbox One because we know no one has it. It's only going to be on PS4.
Oh man.
Maybe that was earlier this week. There was another one. Maybe it wasn't Batman.
I know. Well, I know in Batman they dropped in one of the advertisements, and it was a major advertisement from Japan too, which might have been the reason why they didn't mention the Xbox One. But yeah, they totally just mentioned the one, just that one system it's coming out for, and it's just oh yeah, no mention of Xbox. So it's whoever's paying those dollars, I guess.
Yeah,
it's
seriously
the game advertisement.
Yeah. All right, so that was our first look at Destiny. We'll follow up next week. We'll see what we think.
Yeah,
we should have plenty of time to play more.
I'm loving it so far, but I mean, there's still so much more to see. So, I mean, right now I'm leaning towards a buy, but I guess we'll tune in next week, find out, and see what we finally think.